Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Rewind and Replay. I'm Matan,
And I'm Josh.
and we are here today to give our review slash overview of the first half of the final season of Attack on Titan.
That is a mouthful.
Yeah, for sure. They didn't announce that it was going to be split for a while, so I really thought
No,
this was going to be it.
me too.
Josh, what's your background on anime?
Boy, I'm not an anime watcher. I don't know how to put this. I've seen maybe a handful of different anime.
Can you name? Can you name another?
The first anime I ever watched was Darker Than Black, and
Cool.
then after that, it's just like been the populars. So
Okay.
I've watched like a couple of them because like people talk about them, and this is one of them. And I gotta
Right.
say, I really like. I really enjoy this. So
Yeah.
from my perspective, I'm very much going into it as like, not so much like, oh, it's an anime. Oh, I've read about it or anything. It's like it's a show I watch. So
Yeah.
that's who I am. What about you?
I have a fair amount of experience with anime. Started in like early middle school and I've watched a lot of the major ones. I'm sort of in the circles, so I'm aware of big releases. I Attack on Titan has become my favorite anime of all time. It surpassed Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which I previously thought was untouchable.
Wow, that's one of those that I always hear about, but I've
Yeah.
never watched. I think the most popular one I've ever watched is Hunter x Hunter. But
Also great. We could do a whole video on my thoughts on
yeah,
that show.
yeah.
But that is another good one. And
This is AOT 4 Part One.
yes. Um, let's talk about this show. Let's talk about this first half of the final season of this tremendously successful show. Wow.
I just can't get over the Part 1 part. Is
Yes.
like
Yeah.
they really stuffed a lot into
So
this
much.
part of a season.
Not a beat wasted. Not a
No,
moment wasted.
no. I
I
didn't feel filler episodes or anything.
right.
So
Very intentional. Attack on Titan, as I said, my favorite anime now. It's not perfect, and I do think that the first season and a little bit the second season does drag in the middle. I do think that there's a lot of slow moments, and in this, the slowness, when it's slow, it's very intentional, and
oh
when
yeah.
then it's fast, it's fast. Like again, every moment is used well.
So I guess I got to ask you before
Hmm.
we jump into like predictions or like looking back at this season.
Yeah.
Have you read the have you read it before?
No.
Like
So
okay,
I
so okay, yeah, I'm fresh too. So I don't know what to think. Like everything that
right.
I have formulating in my head are like my own thoughts.
Totally.
But I know there's like a lot of stuff out there. Like, do you prescribe to any of the fan theories on
Um.
this?
So I have tried a little bit. There are some we can get into.
Okay.
I've
I only
tried.
ask. I don't want to derail. I don't want
No,
to
no,
derail
no.
us from our thing. But I only ask because there's a lot of things that are like that explain why some of those moments in the first couple seasons feel slow.
Sure, you're right, and that's a really good connection. I think that's part of what I've adored about this season is like Isayama, the writer, is so brilliant that he has apparently when he was in animation school, right? Like this has been his baby since day one. He has been while other people were making all sorts of different projects for different things. What I've heard is that Isayama has just been working on Attack on Titan since he was like 19. He's
Yeah.
just this has been his baby. He has planned every single moment out, and
What
so
a
that's
what a show to leave behind.
I
mean,
know truly
yeah,
one of the greats. So I believe you that like there are theories about like why dragging moments might come back later. I do, and I hope
yeah.
that they do.
I hope so too. I can't wait until the final episode airs so I can immediately go back to
Yes,
episode 1.
yep. And I'm gonna immediately gonna I'm gonna read it all. I'm gonna see every. So
Just see
I'm so
everything.
excited.
Yeah.
So let's just give a brief overview of the sort of events of this bit of season four.
Okay. So
It's
I can do the first part,
please.
which I can't do it very well, but all I can say is like kids.
Oof.
so
Oof.
so it's the kids, it's the recruits, and we're seeing the other side, right?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like we leave season 3 and it's like, oh, we're going across
Yeah.
the ocean,
Yeah.
and then we're there.
My
So I think
enemies
that's
are over
beautiful.
there. Yeah.
Right. I think it's such a perfect opening to it.
Yep.
So at that point, I mean, I can talk about beats, but like let's go
Yeah,
into it with you, and then I'll just like kind of be like, yeah,
sure.
I'm general public, I know what's going on, yeah.
Right.
So take it away.
I wanted to so yeah that we get there to the kids, Marley and soldiers who are Eldian, uh, in the trenches. One of the things I wanted to bring up, a theory that I love, that I totally, I mean, it's obvious. I want to say I picked up on it, but like it was there for everybody to see.
Sure, sure.
Is when Falco, there's like some explosion, and Falco, best boy, is like knocked over and he's kind of shell shocked, and he says something like, "I thought I was just flying around with swords, killing titans." He
Right.
says some line like that, and they're like, "You're
Yeah.
what are you talking about?" And then he kind of steps out of it. I think he is going to inherit a Titan, and I think it's going to be
Right.
Aaron's Titan because Aaron's the founding Titan is the only one that seems to have this sort of retroactive memory shit going on.
Well,
Um,
I think all of them can see into the memories of past Titans,
they
right?
can, but Aaron's is the only one that can do that before they actually have the Titan.
Right. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah. Yes.
So that's my theory. I think something's going to happen there. Um,
Interesting.
and then we see that these Eldian kids are a lot of them are totally devoted to the cause of
Yep.
Marley.
Yep.
We see Reiner for it's a 4-year time skip. We see more adult Reiner
Yeah.
fucking shit up and getting fucked up, and it seems like the era of the Titans coming to an end. We see the kids go back to their sort of internment zone. Then basically Reiner is dealing with a lot of tragedy. He's dealing with a lot of trauma. He's guiding these kids. Then Aaron shows up, long hair, looking intense,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he just sorry. Go ahead.
I adore. I mean, we're about to get there, but I adore that first Titan fight
Yes,
in Marley. I think
horrifying.
that's like
So
I
good.
think that's one of the best like just sequences of the season. I want to go back and watch it because like that was some of the best like action.
Yes, and it's so emotionally charged. Like Aaron, he's underground. He turns into a Titan, kills in order to start this war. Right after Marley declares war on Paradise, the island that the first day season take place in, he kills this whole building of Eldians, and then grabs this other guy and kills him. And then this whole fight starts with all these Titans. Then all the scouts show up. We see everybody else 4 years later. Fucking shit up. They're going in on these Titans.
Right.
Aaron is able to take the Warhammer Titan, who has crazy powers.
Amazing.
Crazy powers, can control all sorts of shit. Almost takes the Jaw Titan, doesn't. Ends up getting out of there. Armin kills a bunch of people by going colossal.
Yeah,
And he
out
feels
there
bad about
taking
it.
care of a navy. Yeah,
Right. They're like, oh, hey, a little boat.
It's amazing. I really love. There's two sides of this for me.
Yeah.
I love how like specific a lot of the things are, all the Titan powers, but
Totally.
I joke about this with a friend of mine all the time. We cannot stand the name of each Titan. Like it's just like cool. The jaw, the colossal
Jaw Titan has jaw.
female. Like what? Like what?
Sure.
It's so strange, but like
Yes.
you really get the idea of everything. So that's like my one criticism.
That's funny. I like that.
Really? Like okay.
Be a little more creative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they all escape, and we find out like Aaron was acting on his own, and that he basically, because the scouts, the people of Paradise know they can't lose him. He's like their greatest weapon. He basically, by showing up, forces them to come in.
Yeah.
Then we've also learned that Zeke is working on their side. Aaron's brother, the Beast Titan, fakes his own death.
Whole fight.
Yep. And we also learned like Levi still hates him because again he killed Erwin and all those soldiers. Flock was the only survivor.
Yep.
Then they return to Paradise. We get a flashback. We see what's been going on the last couple years. People who are like supporters of Zeke came to the island, and they've been living there sort of under the watchful eye of the people of Paradise. Not all of them are Eldian. Some of them are from other nations that Marley has conquered and oppressed.
And they're just about it. They're like, yes, hell yeah. Ride or die.
Yep. We see the people are beginning to turn. This is about it's sort of more in the closer to the present after everybody's returned. The
Mhm.
people are beginning to turn on the government. The government is they want to know more about what's going on, and a lot of them really are reactionary and really just want to go kill Marley. And the military isn't releasing everything that's going on, and so this moment, like where right, like when the military does a coup in like season two, or I think in season three, like that is regarded like it's sort of portraying the show as like, oh, this really positive thing. That's a little murky. Like military
Mhm.
coups are not always good, and like this
No,
is Isayama getting to the depth of that, being like, hey,
sure,
it's not always good,
sure.
like, which I think is great. Um, there's so much happens. I'm not going to get it all in line, but Gabby and Falco, two of the Marleyan soldiers who are Eldian, the warrior candidates, get brought to the island as well. They kill Sasha, R.I.P. to a real one.
Oh man.
Um, we learn that Zeke has this whole like there's this group called the Jaegerists that rises up with
Yeah.
Aaron and Zeke, uh, who are basically taking control. They've put Zeke's spinal fluid in wine given
In
to a bunch
wine.
of
Yeah.
higher ups, so that then
Saying
Zeke can
it did,
transform them.
saying it says something, does something else, but it doesn't. Right.
Yes,
So
just huge brain, huge brain.
huge brain.
Um,
Let's take a moment here. You bring it up. Jaegerists. Are you Jaegerists?
no,
What's up?
no.
Okay. Okay.
Jaegers, and this is the thing, there are people in the real world here who identify as Jaegerists who watch
Yeah.
the show and are like,
Yeah.
yeah. People say I didn't watch 3 seasons of Aaron not to agree with him. Like, are you
Sure.
missing the point? Are we watching the
Sure.
same show? God, drives me up a
I
wall.
I think we'll come back to it, but there's a point where like I was iffy. I felt kind of like he's the main character, right? We're supposed
Sure,
to kind of side with him.
yeah,
There's a lot of that until there's like the second to last episode of part one of the season that like I was
yes.
like, okay, never mind. But we'll get to it. We'll
And
get
it's
to it.
supposed to be murky. Like I don't get
Mm.
like having conflicting feelings about this is totally fair and right. Like I loved Aaron. Like this is complicated stuff.
Sure,
Nobody is all in the right, and that's
sure,
the point.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
there is a lot of imagery, like Holocaust imagery, like the
of
armbands and the
course, right.
stars. But what I've seen, and a lot of people are criticizing, a lot of people have called this show anti-Semitic. And as a Jewish person, I really totally disagree. And
Mm.
I understand why at a very surface level reading, like people who are coded as Jews turn into monsters and like that's bad. But that is a very surface level reading to me. And like if you can look at the messages of this show, they are so strongly anti-fascist and like anti-classist and to
Sure,
me very, very much about liberation.
right.
Um,
I think they use all that. I mean, I do agree that it's like weird on a surface level of like the imagery of it. It's like
right, sure.
okay, but they use it in the same way that we learn about this sort of
Right,
stuff, right? So it's like it's meant to be that way.
right,
But yeah, no, like that's real world stuff,
for sure.
and like wow, I didn't even think about it until you really brought it up. So
Sure. Yes, and because I love with my favorite stuff. I love to see what people think, and I love to gauge the discourse. And I get why people think that. I really do. But one thing is, Isayama he uses some Holocaust imagery on purpose, but it really is more about Japanese internment. It's about Japanese people after the war, during occupation, after World War II, and it's about Japanese experience in the U.S. in internment camps. Because like the internment camps, like Liberio, it's not like the camps of in Germany and in Austria, like in Poland of the Holocaust. Like
mhm.
people aren't being killed there. They're like They're like camps where their people are secluded, which is I mean a little bit like ghettos, but Isayama has said he's more trying to talk about the Japanese experience because that is what
Okay,
he knows.
great.
Um, some more favorite moments. Zeke and Levi get a round two. Knew it was
Okay,
coming.
okay. So I'm with the fandom here. I think I don't really know. I
Mm,
haven't dug into any yet, but Levi is just amazing. Like
amazing.
he's the most fun
He's
because
cool as shit. Ugh.
he just doesn't care, and he's like
Yeah.
5'2". I love that.
Yes. But then also like he's seen so many people die and like he's been forced to spend all this time with these people who killed his so many of his comrades.
I
Like,
think what I'm gonna do here, just for the sake of time,
yeah.
a lot of things happen. A lot of things
Yes.
happen.
We're gonna
Everyone.
get just to the high.
Things
Yes.
things happen, and then now we're here in a little camp, and it's Levi and Zeke. All right, so here we are. I love that Zeke's like, he's not gonna kill his boys. Like, he's not gonna kill his boys.
Zeke turns all of his allies into Titans.
Right. And he's like, he's just, Levi's not gonna do it. He's not gonna kill his boys. I'm out of here. Nah.
Never underestimate my boy. Never underestimate my boy.
Like, he was there. He was there. Like, 30 seconds later, like, yeah, I killed them all. What's up? Like, let's go.
Yeah. They fight. Levi wins. And then basically Zeke blows himself up to try to kill Levi as well.
Yeah.
And it doesn't totally work. Zeke is still alive, still totally fucked up. And one of the Titans.
About Levi, yeah.
We don't know about Levi. We don't.
Yeah.
Zeke is totally fucked up. And one of the Titans that it seems like Levi didn't kill comes up and shoves Zeke into their stomach. Gross as hell. But who's the new Beast Titan? Who is it?
Yeah. Who is? And does that count? I mean, does like
I was wondering.
Does reverse like birth?
Yeah,
reverse birth. Like, does it count?
I think
Is that you eating it?
I just really gotta know, because he's gonna still get like digested, I imagine. Like,
I have no idea. It felt more like an incubation to like keep him alive. Like,
that would be interesting.
It felt more like they were keeping him alive for like
I didn't think about that. Putting him in the stomach to like hide him and heal him. That's interesting.
Right. So I'm not sure, but I mean, it is still a stomach. So is he eaten? I
was wondering if like maybe. Because he doesn't do like a yell or something at the end. So I wonder either he's been eaten or maybe he's just being hidden by that Titan.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because we don't know who that Titan is.
Right, totally. Another thing I wanted to bring up, another great moment that I've only realized after the fact. After Eren, when Peak is with Gabby and they jump off and the Jaw Titan comes up and tries to eat Eren and it just grabs his leg. Yeah. That is like the very first episode or second episode when Eren gets his leg bitten off. And then, when he first turns into a Titan, he gets his leg. It gets the same light. It's framed the same way.
Wow.
Very cool.
Wow. Everything is just happening. Future, past. What is it?
Yes. It's all about freedom. It's all about moral ambiguity in a way that is done with more tact than anything I've ever seen. I adore this show.
Sure. It's amazing. Yeah. I as someone who doesn't watch this, beyond like someone who watches something on television. Right. Like, I really think this show is well done. I really think there's an interesting story here. And as far as a recap goes, there's a lot of points I think we can still make. But let me go back to one of the ones that we were talking about.
Please.
The Jaegerist thing. So I was with people. I was like, we've been watching this guy for a little bit now, right? Like, we've been watching Eren. We're supposed to side with him? Question mark?
Yeah.
But then it was that table scene with Mikasa. I lost my shit. Yeah. I was done in that moment when he was so like, mean. I've never cared about you. I've never I was out. I was like, nope. I don't care what this dude does. Like, kill him, get him. Like, end this regime. Like, get this out of here.
Somebody pointed out that he can't. He knows he can't win a fight with Mikasa and he can't win an argument with Armin, so he argues with Mikasa and fights with Armin.
I mean, that's strong.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Something else. That show is incredible. I wonder, a very impactful scene, very quiet, very tense, heartbreaking.
Yeah. No, it was in that moment I was like, because they do all the flashbacks, and I don't know if they're like redrawn or anything. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they are, but showing like scenes, things that happen, and it's like, yo, was he always mean? Was that real, or are we getting propaganda right now? Like,
right. I wonder if he like wants them to hate him for some reason, if it's part of his grander plan. But
it has to be. Right?
So.
Like, it has to be like a disconnection or something. Right. But now we're going into theory. So like, I love it. There's so much that we can talk about in that realm, but like, let's talk just the very end. So unless there's any other points that we let's just recap.
What are your hopes and predictions? Do you have a solid one?
I don't think I have any solid anything.
Huh. With this show you never know.
Right. I don't have solid anything, because it's just like, again, I really gotta force this point home. I'm just a general audience. I'm like the perfect audience for someone who wants to like, hey, what do you think about this?
Yeah.
And what I think about it is just like, I'm excited for the next part. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was going to be 2 parts until like the very end here. So I'm like, oh, I get like a whole nother season? Yes. Like that's all I'm thinking is like, oh, there's more? Cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm expecting 3 big Titan fights. That's all I want.
I think there's
like,
going to,
I just want.
I've heard there's going to be a lot.
Yeah, because like those are, again, like those are fun. Those are just fun to see how they use their powers. Like that's what I want to see. So, I just really care about our 3 main characters from the get go. Right. So that's who I want to see this next season. That's who I want to see.
Eren, Armin, Mikasa.
Right. Exactly. Then throw in Levi, throw in Zeke, throw in like our secondaries.
Falco
like,
and Gabby, please. Love them.
Sure, of course. Yeah, they're great. I love the conflict going on with Gabby. So like I want to really see our 3 people. That's who I want to see. That's what I want from the last part of the season or second part of the season. Yeah. Anyways, how about you? Let's finish with your thoughts.
I'm very hopeful about how it's going to go. I know the last chapter of the manga just came out, and I've tried to avoid it at all costs. I've heard it's the reviews are, I think, net positive but mixed.
Okay.
But I'm hopeful about a really good ending. I trust Isayama. I think that here's my hard prediction: Falco is going to get a Titan.
Sure.
Double prediction: it's going to be Eren's.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
That's that deep prediction.
Yeah.
But that's going all the way back to episode 1 of this season.
Yep.
Wow. You have such an interesting point with that. And I'll leave it at that. Like, there's a lot of stuff. But I think that's such a powerful
There'd be a lot to get into, like, emotionally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, that's a powerful prediction.
Thank you, everybody, for watching.
Thank you.
You can tell we are passionate about this stuff. So if you want to help us make more content like this, you can donate to our Patreon, patreon.com/rewind_replay, which is linked in the description, to help us make more. We love to talk about media. We have a reaction series going on right now. We're probably going to do more sort of season overviews like this after more significant series. If there's anything you'd like to see us talk about, please let us know. Josh, you got any final words?
Just check out all of our other stuff as well. Tabletop. We all stream on Twitch. Go check everything out. It's great. It's a lot of fun. And thanks for watching.